Greetings, friends. It's me, Wayman, and this is a video going out to Brick King. John 15:18. If the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. And I couldn't remember where I heard that before. What kind of philosophy was it? And I leafed through all my books, and I found it. It was in Plato's Republic, where he talks about what is justice and what is virtue. And I think in a lot of his dialogues, especially stuff like Crito and Gorgias, where in Gorgias, in the dialogue, he discusses justice and injustice and virtue. So this was, maybe 380 BCE. And so I guess, friends, what I'm saying is, if you cross out what Burkane said, every time he says Jesus, put in virtue. Because it was virtue who was standing there silent. And it was virtue that was forsaken by all at that point. And it was virtue that was put to death. And it was virtue that came back again. And it always will. When you believe that you have killed off virtue and vice has won, virtue resurrects itself with justice. And a lot of people are happy to see it. So to say that a person who follows the path of vice and commits injustice and seems to get ahead in life is more profitable and it's better off to do that, that's false, friends. Because those kinds of people, even though it may seem on the outside they're doing well, they're the most miserable people you know. So I got to read a section of this because I don't think people really understand how Hellenization and Romanization influenced Judaism in the form of Christianity. That's what it is. They're Greek writers, Greek Hellenized writers, Romanized writers, writing to a Greek Hellenized and Romanized audience. So they're going to use the same motifs, same kind of philosophies, mix it in with Judaism, and people would be identifying with it because they were not Jewish. A lot of the people who first believed and first Christians, most of them were Gentiles. And so that was why the Jews persecuted Paul so much, was because ever since Antiochus IV, they were trying to stamp out Hellenization that was encroaching or infiltrating Judaism, and to stop it from taking over the belief system, because there was no end. Jews were being killed because they wouldn't eat pork, and a statue of Zeus was raised in the temple, and there was a big uprising over that. And then Paul comes in with Hellenized Romanization philosophy, mixes it with Judaism. So yeah, it really put him on Judaism's bad side. But he tried to pull it off, and mostly he did with pagan people with pagan backgrounds, so they could identify. We know somebody who came back from the dead heroically. Hercules did it twice. We know the plays of Euripides and Aeschylus. So that's where it was coming from. And I just want to read you the beautiful section here on Gorgias, what Socrates says. And it's right down towards the end, and friends, you could read it too. And of all that has been said, nothing remains unshaken but the saying that to do injustice is more to be avoided than to suffer injustice, and that the reality and not the appearance of virtue is to be followed above all things, as well in public as in private life, and that when anyone has been wrong in anything, he is to be chastised, and that the next best thing to a man being just is that he should become just and be chastised and punished, also that he should avoid all flattery of himself as well as of others, of the few or of the many. And rhetoric and any other art should be used by him, and all of his actions should be done always with a view towards justice. And I think that's what Christ was all about. That's what the New Testament writers were trying to portray. Christ as being the manifestation of the highest form of virtue living among men. Socrates was seen as that later too by Plato. And if you read the trial of Socrates and some of the dialogues, especially in Crito, where Crito wants to have him escape from jail, and he says, "No, I'm going to stay here for justice." So there you have it, friends. So the world, if the world hates you for being virtuous, it hated virtue first. That's what John 15:18 is saying, friends. So be well, friends, and remember, if everybody's thinking alike, then somebody isn't thinking.